Picture this: a snake coiled tight around a pile of gold coins, motionless, almost deliberate. No hands to grab it with, no pockets to hide it in, no concept whatsoever of what gold is worth. And yet, here it is, wrapped around treasure like it's guarding something precious, like it knows. For most of human history, we assumed it did know. Every culture that told stories about snakes seemed to land on the same idea independently. In Greek mythology, a 100-headed serpent named Ladon coiled around the golden apples of the Hesperides, never sleeping, never leaving its post. In Norse legend, Fafnir, a being so consumed by greed he transformed into a dragon, sat on a hoard of gold until Sigurd drove a sword through him. Medieval bestiaries, the encyclopedias of their time, described serpents and dragons as creatures with an almost human obsession with wealth. Possessive, greedy, calculating. It's a strange thing, when you think about it. Completely different civilizations, separated by oceans and thousands of years, all arrived at the exact same image: a snake, coiled around gold, guarding it like a miser guards a fortune. That kind of convergence usually means one of two things. Either these cultures were onto something real, or they were all looking at the same behavior and misreading it in the same way. It's the second one, and the real explanation is, honestly, better than the myth. Start with the basics. Snakes are ectotherms, cold-blooded, in the language most of us grew up with. That term gets thrown around a lot, but people rarely stop to think about what it actually means for an animal's daily life. A mammal like you generates its own body heat internally, constantly, whether you're thinking about it or not. Your body is a furnace that never turns off. A snake has no furnace. Every single degree of warmth in its body has to come from somewhere outside it. The sun, a warm rock, a patch of asphalt that's been baking all afternoon. If a snake can't find heat, it can't digest food properly, can't move quickly, can't do much of anything. Temperature isn't comfort for a snake. It's survival, minute to minute. So snakes have become extraordinarily good at finding heat. Research on desert rattlesnakes has pinpointed their preferred body temperature at around 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius. And their entire daily routine is built around hitting that number and staying there. Too cold, and they become sluggish, vulnerable, unable to strike or flee. Too hot, and they risk literally cooking from the inside. That narrow window is everything. And some snakes take heat sensing to a level that sounds almost like science fiction. Pit vipers, rattlesnakes among them, have specialized organs on their faces capable of detecting infrared radiation, not light. Heat itself, as a wavelength, sensed directly. These pit organs are sensitive enough to register an object just 18 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than its surroundings from more than a foot away, purely from the heat it's radiating. That's not a rough guess of something warm is nearby. That's a precision instrument, evolved over millions of years, built for one job. Find heat, find it fast, find it before you overheat or freeze trying. Now put that ability next to a pile of gold sitting in direct sunlight. Metal is one of the most efficient thermal conductors in the natural world. It absorbs solar energy quickly, heats up faster than the surrounding rock or soil, and holds that warmth for a meaningful stretch of time after the direct sun has moved on. To an animal with a built-in heat detector and a biological need to find the warmest available surface at any given moment, a sun-baked pile of coins isn't a curiosity. It's a jackpot. Just not the kind we mean when we use that word. This isn't even purely theoretical. Snakes are well documented seeking out human-made surfaces specifically because of their heat retention. Asphalt roads at dusk, metal grates, tin roofing, even car engines shortly after being shut off, all of it fits the same pattern. Wildlife researchers who study roadkill patterns have long noted that snakes bask on warm pavement well after sunset, drawn there for the exact same reason we're talking about with gold. The surface holds onto heat far longer than the ground around it. Gold and other metals behave the same way. There's nothing mystical or greedy about it. It's just physics, and a nervous system built to exploit that physics as efficiently as possible. So that coiling motion, the one that looked so deliberate, so possessive, so much like guarding, it's a snake maximizing surface contact with the best heat source available to it. Coiling isn't a defensive posture around treasure. It's the reptile equivalent of wrapping yourself in every blanket on the bed On the coldest night of the year, the tighter the coil, the more of its body touches the warm surface, the faster it reaches that magic 86 degrees it needs to function, which means every myth got the motive backwards. The snake was never protecting the gold. The gold was protecting the snake. And there's something almost poetic in that reversal, because it mirrors something humans do too, just for entirely different reasons. We're drawn to shiny, valuable objects as well, not because we need them to regulate our body temperature, but because our brains are wired to notice reflectivity and novelty, a leftover instinct from a time when spotting water or fresh fruit from a distance meant survival. A diamond catching light across a room pulls your eye the same automatic way a warm coin pulls a snake's entire body toward it. Different biology, different reasons, same shiny hook, wired into two completely different nervous systems by two completely different evolutionary paths. So the next time someone tells you a snake is guarding its treasure, you'll know the real story. It was never about the gold at all. It was never greed, never intention, never anything close to what Ladon or Fafnir represented in the old stories. It was a cold-blooded animal doing the only thing it's ever done: hunting for warmth, using whatever the world happens to leave lying around. The myth needed a villain. The truth just needed a Tuesday afternoon and a warm patch of sunlight. If animal instincts like this fascinate you, the real biology hiding behind centuries of myth, subscribe. Next time, why crows can't resist stealing anything that shines.